Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. Today we're going to do another foundation review. So this time it's going to be the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, as you've probably seen from the title anyway. But yeah, so we're going to test that one out today. I know this is not a new foundation, this has been out for quite some time, but I've just never tried it before. So we're going to try it. I did pick up two shades, so I've got these two, you can see right there. Obviously I picked up one for my fair skin and also when I'm tanned as well, so I'm not wearing a tan today, so we're going to go with the light one. So I picked up light 43 warm for when I'm fair and my natural skin tone, and then I picked up warm and then I picked up medium 53 warm for when I'm wearing some fake tanner. So yeah, we're going to be trying out this bad boy today, and I really hope that it works really good. So this is supposed to be a 24-hour wear, full coverage, transfer resistant matte finish. Quite a claim. Let's hope that this is good. Before we jump into the video, if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do, and we'll jump in and get started. I do also like with the Kat Von D is that they have this little like cap thing on there, so you can like take that off to use it, and then you can keep it and like keep putting it back on there so the air doesn't like get down in there, and it's like extra protection for your product. I really like that. So I'm just going to use the Kat Von D primer today. I might actually just use it on one side of my face, because then we can see if the primer makes a difference with the foundation and all that stuff. But this is one of my favorite foundation. This is one of my favorite primers. It's just really moisturizing and hydrating, just like it says, so definitely one of my favorite primers. So we're going to use this on this side of my face and not on the other. Alright, so let's jump on in and put some shit on our face. So we're going to start with the primer. So I'm going to put a nice bit on my hand, it's just nice and liquidy. Smells really good as well. It is a really nice hydrating primer for sure. And as always, I've got my eyebrows done. If you want a tutorial on that, I'll link it down below for you. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to jump into this today. 24-hour full coverage, transfer resistant matte coverage. Interesting. So I'm going to just apply this as always. I probably should start doing like applying it with a brush and applying it with a sponge, because like that's probably what you guys want, right? To know if it applies good with a brush, even though I don't personally ever use a brush. I feel like I need to actually use one just for tutorials, just for first impressions and stuff, for you guys to see like if it does apply good with a brush. So I'm going to run and get a brush, and we're going to do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge and see how they go. Right, for the brush today I'm going to use this awesome guy from Morphe. This is the Y6 from their Gilded collection. This is a really good foundation brush. I usually only use the foundation brush for like stick foundation, so like my Hourglass foundation, I will use this with some Matte Fix Plus and it blends in really nicely. So yeah, I've never actually used a brush with a liquid foundation before. This is going to be new for me, but we will see how it goes, and I'll see if I can learn to like doing that, because I just feel like it's going to be better for reviews if I show you what it's like with a brush and with a sponge. Does that sound good? I think so. Woo, that's light. Thank God I'm a fair ass bitch. I'm going to do the side without the primer first, and I'm going to use the brush. That's about how much I would usually use of any other foundation, so we'll see how we go. And I'm just going to wet my brush first so that it doesn't soak up too much product. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, just so it's a bit damp. And we're going to go in with this. I just hate brushes. Okay, so that's how it applies with the brush. I mean, it doesn't apply like bad, but I just don't like using a brush. So let's move on to the sponge and we'll do the other side because that's what I like to do. I mean, but straight up you can see that it's really full coverage and that's a really light foundation. Usually like the darker foundations are the ones that cover all the stuff and not so much the lighter colours. They don't cover like all of the redness and stuff, but this is quite full coverage. Okay, so that's both sides. I just feel like the sponge blends it out way better. I'm just going to go in and blend some of this because I mean this is like still, it's not transfer proof because I can still transfer it off, but I'm just going to dab this down because I really don't like using a brush. But the one thing I will say is that I got more coverage. Let me try and come a bit closer. I don't know if you can see that, but I got more coverage out of the brush than I did out of the sponge, but the sponge applies it way smoother and the brush looks really cakey, so just bear that in mind. Using a brush will make it look more cakey, but the sponge doesn't give it as much of a coverage, so you'll have to put a bit more on if you use a sponge. Just seeing if it goes cakey by layering some more. I feel much better using the sponge technique, but like I said, the sponge doesn't give you as much coverage. I definitely got like way more coverage using brush, but it looks more cakey because I don't know, the sponge just, then again it could be the primer, I don't know, it's either the primer or the brush, but this side looked more cakey but got way more product on it, and this side looks nice and smooth and I needed to put a bit more product on it, so just bear that in mind. But other than that, this foundation is a really nice coverage. You can still kind of see the little dots that I've got here, which is obviously a couple of breakouts that I have at the moment. But, I mean, other than that, it looks really nice. Okay, so for concealer I'm going to use, like always, my Tarte Shape Tape concealer. This time I'm using the Fair Neutral shade because obviously I'm lighter today, so you know. And sponge because I just don't want to do the brush. I feel a bit weird today because I usually don't like to film when I'm so pale because I just feel like I look weird. I just feel like right now I'm blending in with the background. That's just me. I feel like I am anyway. Okay, so I'm going to throw on some powder. We're going to use my Airspun powder because it's right in front of me. This is a really good drugstore powder. Well, it's not really a drugstore powder because you can't really get it in a drugstore. Not in Australia anyway. I got mine off of Crush Cosmetics. And I'm just going to set under my under eyes. I'm actually just going to do it all over my face because I can't be bothered. I prefer to pat it in anyway all over my face rather than to use a brush because the brush will tend to move your product around. Okay, so this is how the face is looking at the moment. Do I have a compact somewhere? No? Okay, we're just going to look in the mirror. Okay, so yeah, I think I might have put a little bit too much powder on, but I always put too much powder on. Other than that, the only things that I can see is that it's a little cakey here, but like I said, I don't know if it was because I used a brush on this side or because there's no primer, but it's pretty cakey just here and just a little bit around my nose, whereas on this side it's nice and smooth and it doesn't look cakey at all. It doesn't feel cakey. My nose looks fine. And yeah, the only thing is that it's obviously like creasing in my eye sockets, but you're not going to just wear a foundation by itself anyway. You're going to put something in there, right? So yeah, that would be the only other thing. And maybe that you can see my forehead wrinkles a little bit too much, but I'm just getting old, so I've just got to get used to the fact that I'm going to have forehead wrinkles. It's just a way of life. But yeah, so at the moment it's looking pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be back to share the final result. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and put on the rest of my makeup. If you would like to see a tutorial on this look, I will link that one down below or up here on the screen if you'd like to have a look at that one. But yeah, so let's get into the rest of the foundation review. I'm a little disappointed with this foundation so far, considering that all I've done is put on the rest of my makeup and I haven't even worn this for the day yet. I'm quite disappointed in this foundation. I've got really bad wrinkles between my eyebrows, which I never get, so that's really disappointing. Also, the foundation on my nose has already started to break up and come off, so definitely not a good start. It is a very hot day though, so it could possibly just be because I'm really hot that my oils are coming through a bit sooner and the foundation doesn't like that, but at the same time, if it's a hot day, you kind of want your foundation to last, so it's not really great that it's not lasting, you know, and I've only done my makeup, so by the time that I finish the rest of my makeup, it's looking pretty bad already. So it's a little bit cakier over my top lip. It's definitely started to break up and cake around my nostrils, and yeah, like the tip of my nose has basically all come off, so that's quite disappointing. The forehead wrinkles are quite bad, and like I said, in between my eyebrows is quite bad as well. Other than that, the coverage is really good, and it looks nice and smooth on my skin, so maybe it's just because I'm getting older that I'm getting all these wrinkles, but it definitely shouldn't be breaking up on my nose this quickly. So I'm going to wear this for the rest of the day and I will come back later and give you my final thoughts. I'll see you soon, guys. Alright guys, so I've been wearing this makeup all day, and I mean most of my face still looks really nice. My oils have seeped through a little bit and I'm looking a little shiny, but that's nothing out of the ordinary for a foundation on me. I really love this look. Oh, I love this look. I don't think I've got a good enough picture of it, to be honest. Like, I just can't get a good enough picture of this makeup, which sucks because I really like this makeup. My only fault with this foundation is that it's come off my nose, and it did come off my nose at the beginning. It came off my nose when I was doing the rest of my makeup, and that's really disappointing to me. I mean, everywhere else my face looks really nice. My wrinkles are a little bit more like pronounced, but where my oils have come through, that looks really nice still. It hasn't broken up. Looks good on my chin. My forehead wrinkles are obviously still seeping through, but might be just because I'm getting old and I just have to get used to that. The wrinkles between my eyebrows, I've never really had that before, but maybe I'm going to be starting to have that now because I'm getting old. It's definitely started to break away around my nose. And if you can see that, like I just pressed my face. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I pressed my face and like the makeup has come off on my hand, and now I've got a mark on my face. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Ooh, now that I look at it closer, it's really starting to break off around my mouth. Maybe it's like the primer I use. Maybe I can use like a pore minimizing primer. At this stage, my first impression is quite bad. I'm kind of wishing I didn't get 2 shades. But I mean, I'm willing to try it again to see if there's some way that I can make this work, because I mean, I'm not going to just go buy a foundation, try it once, and then just be like, oh well, this is why I hate it, which is like wrinkles that comes off and stuff like that. Like, there's always ways to try and make things work, so I'm going to try that because, you know, I bought 2 of them. I bought 2 of them. So I'm going to try and make this work. But for now, my first impression is not very good. I don't like that it's coming from my nose. Like, come on. It came off my nose as soon as I did my makeup, and this is like hours later and it's still coming off everywhere. So not impressed. Not impressed at all. That's all I really have to say about this, is that at the moment I don't really like it, so I'll try it again and see if I can make this work, but for now it's a no from me. I just sound like one of those judges off of those shows. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.